Good afternoon, everyone. This is Julia from the Garden of Feeding, and tonight I will be talking about our incubators. As you can see, we have a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have one over here, which is number 5. And these incubators hold 22 eggs. And inside of them, you can see I have some black copper marrons and some blue lavender americanas. There are some this one here is a Welsh summer egg, and these are some olive eggs from Henrietta, and this is actually a white Marron's egg. And over here you can see there's some more from Henrietta and the different ones. Now this incubator I just put together, and so the temperature is not exactly right. It needs to come up a little bit more. I just turned it on a few minutes ago, and we'll watch it come up to 99.5. I'll help it out, close this window a little bit. There we go. Now, the one thing I don't like about these 360 Nuture 360s is how the lid fastens on when you're trying to set eggs in it and trying to get it to lock. It's a royal pain. And so I'm unhappy about the lid. Now, the other thing that bugs me about these incubators is the humidity. You can see here it says 74%, and over here 31, and that's what I've been running back here in this room, is around 31 to 40% humidity. But during lockdown, the humidity level needs to come up, and I'm very comfortable with the 70s. I don't like it to go up really above 75. I try to keep it down below that, around 70ish or 65 to 70 for the chicks hatching. Some people say you can't hatch them at 65% humidity, but I have. Now, the problem is that I can put water in the little red spout, little bee vent right here on lockdown day to raise the humidity, and walk away and come back an hour later and it's gone from 75 all the way down to 59. And so it seems like I have to run back here every hour or every couple of hours and check on it. When I go to bed at night, it's up right at the level, 75. I get up in the morning, it's all the way down to 59 or 60. And so it's a real problem. I haven't figured that out yet, and maybe some of you all can help me in the comments. Now, also in these incubators, they do have some really good features. You can see here's the menu, and this is where I set the temperature for the 99.5. See there, 99.5? And these two buttons, you push them to make sure that it's going to turn for me, and it will turn several times a day to keep the eggs so that they don't stick. They don't stick inside the egg. They keep them moving all during the day. And then this other really nice feature is the light. When you push this button right here, you can actually put your egg over this and candle it. See there? And so I use that feature quite often. And I like the fact that it tells me how many days I have to hatch. Now I just set these eggs, so it's telling me I have 21 days. Sometimes that feature is very hard or difficult lately for me to set, because when all the eggs hatch, then I wash it all out really well and get ready to start again. And I'm sure that it probably needs to rest a day before I do that, but I like to keep these things moving all the time, always having eggs hatching. Once a week we have eggs hatching. And so that's these. Now I have them labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, and I keep very good records. And I have tried a numbering system where I numbered every egg, and then I'd say, okay, number 5 didn't hatch, and it was a blue lavender Americana egg. And so Why are they not hatching? And the eggs that don't hatch in these incubators, after all the chicks have hatched, it's sort of like popcorn. Your popcorn, when it stops popping, you turn it off so it doesn't burn up. You always stop the minute you hear the last pop. Well, when all these eggs stop hatching, I have seen that even after a couple of hours, I can check them, and the ones that were not hatching were actually dead. They had dead chicks in them. They had yolkers, which is just a yolk egg. So I don't wait for days like some people do, waiting and hoping for that egg to hatch. Once they all get done hatching, I might wait an hour or so, or maybe wait till after lunch and go back, and I crack them. I crack them right at the top of where the air button is and poke the little sac of the embryo that goes around, the little sac that goes around on the inside of the egg. I poke a hole in it to see if there's any life in there. And most of the time, when all the chicks have hatched and there's eggs left, no movement, no pipping, no nothing, you can just count on it that those eggs do not have life in them, that they are dead eggs, they're yolkers, they're not going to help you any. So several times during the 21-day period, a few times, like day 7, you can take that egg out and candle it and see if there's veins in it. And you can move them around. So the candler is really a nice feature. The bad feature is how this lid has to connect with this little notch here in the front and the little notch in the back. It's a royal pain. Now here's our number 5 I wanted to show you. As you can see, this day is actually on day 3, so now it will not rotate these eggs anymore. The next thing I need to do, since it's day 3, is I will pull these eggs out of here and put a mat down on the inside of it. I don't think I have one back here to show you. And I'll put a rubber mat on the inside. I'll take this divider out, and then we'll open the air all the way up, and we'll raise the humidity up to 65 to 70. And so in 3 days, these should be hatching, and we'll have some lavender Americanas, yes. And there's a Sally egg. That's a Summer. Her eggs have not been hatching very well. And here is some greenish blue eggs. These could be coming from the lavenders, or they could be coming from Easter eggers. And some of these eggs are Easter egger blues, and some of them are lavender Americanas. And so there you have it. I did try a numbering system, and it was just like doing extra work for no reason. So I pulled back on that. We try to have a set of eggs hatching every single week, but actually I have 2 of them that hatch on the same day every week, just the way we set it up. And our goal is to have 9 incubators going to bring up the income level and the sales enough to support us in these senior years. Okay, that's great. All the news I have for you today from the Garden of Feeding, and I hope that you've learned a little bit about these incubators. At some point in time, as we grow and as our business grows, we will be able to get a cabinet incubator and have as many as we want in there. But right now, I haven't seen the surge of customers coming after these chicks for us to do that. So we're just using these little incubators, and I can start and stop at any time and not having lost too much money. So we get these from Tractor Supply. I wanted to let you know about that. And the only 2 issues I have with this incubator, again, I want to tell you again, is the lid is a pain in the butt to try to get it set on there right. Another thing that seems to be sort of a problem is that when all of these chicks are hatching, it's crowded under this cover. And I have often tried to pull them out while there's some that are wet and pull out some of the extra chicks to give them room and put them in a warmer or an incubator that doesn't have any eggs in it and just use it for a warmer. And that's kind of a problem because the way this is made of pulling them out, it would be better if there was room so that when you get ready to take the chicks out, they don't fall over the edge. That's one of the first things they try to do when you're getting ready to pull them out, is they try to rush out of there and they fall out of this incubator while you're trying to hold up this lid and manage to keep them in and only pick up a few of the fluffies. I usually put them in a nice deep basket so they can't get out. You can see that one's turning. And that's kind of an issue with me too, is how this is made. It should be a way that when I open this lid to take out chicks, the bottom should be up higher where they cannot get out. There should be a higher ledge for them that they just can't jump out of here whenever we're getting ready to take some of them out. And when I do take them out, I take them over to the brooder and place their little beaks in the water, and then I set them under a fluffy, which I'll show you in another video. All right, God bless you. Have a great week, and I hope you learned something from this, from the Garden of Feeding.